Welcome to Your World Within Daily. I'm Eddie Pinero, and in this episode, we're going to look at how sometimes the change we need comes from not necessarily finding solutions to those questions that we've been asking, but stepping back and making sure we've been asking the right questions all along. You'll always answer the question that you're trying to solve. And in yesterday's video that I'm going to play at the end here, it's called Ask Better Questions. And the premise is sometimes we can succeed in answering questions and carrying out a vision or an understanding without realizing that the question in itself is limiting. The question in itself is not representative of who we are and what we can be. And sometimes, holistically stepping back and realizing, hey, I can be doing more here if I simply reframed the way I'm looking at this, can be a pretty powerful thing, right? So in the video, I give an example, the question, can I get there? Versus how fast can I get there? Well, can I get there implies there's doubt. Can I get there implies that it's possible, but it's not certain. How fast can I get there injects the idea that it is certain, it is happening. The question is now the speed with which you will achieve that goal, right? They're just different ways of compartmentalizing a journey or a project or an approach. And I talk about that a lot for my time being on the crew team. It's like we had a big shift in mindset coming in as freshmen from, is this possible, to how do I make this happen? Particularly with like the physical demands that the coach asked of us. It's not a thing. It can't be a thing if you're saying, is this doable? It's like, nope, it is. And then it's your job to figure it out, right? Different question becomes a different outcome. How many steps do I have to go? Versus how do I make the step in front of me count? Right? One is very future oriented. One takes concentration away from where you are, right? Maybe increases stress, anxiety, thinking about things you can't control. The other question is, how do I make the most of this situation? How do I make the most of this step, which will ultimately carry me to the finish line? And then here's an example that's just sort of more pragmatic for people that aren't runners, because we all deal with this, right? Do I have to wake up already? Versus, what does this day have in store? Just a very different lens through which you look at the world. And you'll find throughout the day that there's so many examples of these types of questions where if you flip them, the way that you feel about the situation and the lens through which you look at the situation changes. You're in a better position to help yourself get what you want. So essentially, it's an exercise in awareness. It's an exercise in realizing, sometimes you're on autopilot. Sometimes you're moving for the sake of moving, and sometimes it's a matter of, does this question reflect my goals? And if it doesn't, why not? Why can't I change it? Right? Because our thoughts are malleable, and that's, it gets us into trouble, but it's also one of the greatest gifts, greatest advantages we have. We can put ourselves in position to win by merely reflecting upon how we're looking at things, the questions we're asking things, and how we're internalizing things. So I'm going to play a little bit of this video. It's called Ask Better Questions. It's short, little different, but again, it packs a punch, and I hope you can take that idea and, even if it's just one thing, use it to sort of rewire, a commonplace thought or way of thinking in your life, and ramp things up a level. So enjoy, and I'll catch you tomorrow. If life is truly what we make it, and what we make it depends on the answers we find along the way, then one might be left to wonder, as they make their way through the world, the ups, downs, the highs and the lows? Am I asking the right questions? Like, not how many steps are left, but how do I make this step count? And maybe it's not about what's over my shoulder, but the road untraveled. Perhaps the question isn't the whys, but the why nots. Not how do I get around the obstacle, but how do I push through it? Not how do I avoid the unknown, but how do I make it mine? See, there is a one-to-one correlation between the questions you ask and the answers you get. Every competitor knows asking, can I get there? And asking, how quickly can I get there, will put you in